everybody, welcome back to the YouTube channel of JJ Prime Reviews, the channel where bots get rated and fans get hyped. Well, what figure are we reviewing today? Well, we are going to review the Transformers Studio Series 86 Leader Class Megatron, the Decepticon leader himself. And a very well done figure in my personal opinion. But is he truly worth having in the collection? Well, let's check him out, shall we? Let's go! Now, before we take a look at the figure itself, we need to take a quick look at the packaging. It's a very big packaging because he's a leader class. We have a nice, beautiful image of Megatron himself in robot mode and in his tank mode. Yeah, sure. Transformers Studio Series, the Transformers the movie. His name is Megatron, and on the side of the box we got a nice picture of Megatron himself, the Transformers the movie again, and on the other side of the box we got Autobot symbol. He's not an Autobot, he's a Decepticon. Sure. Studio Series Leader Class. On the top of the box, Megatron, Transformers the movie. And on the back of the box, we got the obligatory product shots. We got a screen capture from the film itself. We got his bio that says, Megatron and the Decepticons prepare to mount a surprise attack on Autobot City. And we got robot mode, we get tank mode, this and that, 54 steps of transformation, and this thing. And there you go. That is basically it for the packaging. So moving right along, here we have Megatron fully transformed into his very inaccurate alt mode. Yes, because this time around he is a tank, and I'm gonna a little bit of a rant here. So yeah, I know that he wasn't a tank in the 1986 film. I know, I'm aware, but here's the thing. We can never get a gun mode Megatron in the main line. No way, no how. Because that is just not going to happen, okay? Because in the US, in America, they kind of made the gun laws very important, okay? So the gun laws are they are the ones that are preventing Megatron from ever being a gun in the toy line, in the main line. I don't know why, I don't know how the masterpiece Megatron, the MP36 Megatron, managed to get a gun mode. I guess Takara didn't know about the gun laws. I don't know. I'm just assuming here. I don't know the story, okay? But basically in America, we can never get a Megatron that turns into a gun. That's not gonna happen, okay? We all just have to accept it. You know, I was never born in the 80s. I never grew up with gun mode Megatron, although I did see the 1986 film, and yes, he did turn into a gun back then. But here's the thing. I honestly don't really care about the alt mode. Because, we saw his alt mode once in the 1986 film, and then the rest of him is just in robot mode. So for me, as far as Megatron goes in the 1986 film, the robot mode matters the most. The gun mode just, I didn't really care for the gun mode. So yeah. So this is the best way that we can go about it, you know, so that he can actually have a more screen accurate robot mode this time around. So they decided to give him a tank, and I'm fine with the tank mode, because honestly for me, the tank mode works better than the gun mode, because if this were to turn into a gun, it would be too big for other robots to hold him. So he would be useless, you know? So yeah, so for me the tank mode just works so much better. Yeah, I know, I'm aware. Okay, I'm aware he didn't turn into a tank, but honestly I prefer the tank over the gun. I'm team tank over team gun, so that's just me. And plus the tank is basically a big gun on wheels, so on treads, not wheels, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so anyway, that's it. I'm done with this rant, because you know, I'm just kind of tired of people whining over the fact that this guy is a tank. So he's been a tank longer than he's a gun, so basically at this point the gun is the exception, really. So but anyway, let's get back to the toy here first. So here is Megatron in tank mode, and I personally think that the tank mode looks pretty dang good. The turret, not so much. The turret could have been better, you know, in terms of the aesthetics, but honestly, after this review, I'm not gonna complain too much about the tank mode because, you know, he never really turned into a tank in the G1 cartoon or in the movie, so I'm fine with the tank mode. So. And it looks good in my personal opinion. Like the body itself looks very good, very cohesive. The turret, it looks okay-ish, but you know, the way it looks, it definitely could have been better. So I think the Siege and Earthrise versions of Megatron, they pulled off the turret section a little bit better, but you know, as far as I'm concerned, the body of the tank, it definitely works a lot better than the Siege and Earthrise versions, in my personal opinion anyway. So we got a Decepticon symbol right there, front and center, and you can see the fusion cannon is stored in as part of the turret right here, and yeah, got some nice detailing going around. These things, they do stick out like a sore thumb. It is not too bad, it's not too horrible. The treads are nicely painted as well, nicely detailed, and he does have some rolling wheels underneath him, so he can roll. He rolls very smoothly, and of course, you do have some articulation in tank mode. The turret can rotate a full 360. You can't really move up because everything is connected, and you know this section is not on a hinge, so you can't really move up. So it can only rotate a full 360. So yeah. But yeah, nice tank mode in my personal opinion. Could be better, but it's still a really cool looking tank in my personal opinion. Very more cohesive than the Earthrise as far as the body of the tank goes. So anyway, let's bring in some size comparisons. And here we have Studio Series 86 Megatron compared with the Siege Megatron and Earthrise Megatron. As you can see the Earthrise version, the turret section actually looks a lot better than this turret section. But overall, though, I prefer the Studio Series 86 one because it's the body of the tank is just way more cohesive. Like this one, not so much cohesive looking in terms of the coloration and all that stuff. Because you see black here and then suddenly it's gray there, so which is pretty odd. But you know, yeah, I mean the Siege mold, it was good of its time, you know. From its time, it was a pretty good mold, but honestly now I'm kind of tired of this mold, and I'm really glad that Studio Series 86 Megatron is a brand new mold. So yeah, I'm very, very happy for that. So but there you go. So anyway, let's move on to the last size comparison for today. And there you go. There we have Studio Series 86 Megatron compared with the Studio Series 86 Commander Class Optimus Prime, and they both look really good together. Yeah, nice to have these figures here. So yeah, very cool to have more cartoon accurate versions of Optimus Prime and Megatron, and I'm oh so happy about this. The definitive versions of Optimus Prime and Megatron in my personal opinion anyway. So there you go, that is pretty much it for the Ultimate comparisons. Now, Megatron does include two accessories of his own. He includes his saber, sword, thing, laser sword, whatever, and also he includes a little mini version of himself in gun mode. So this is the best option for us, you know. The best way to get us a gun mode Megatron is to include an accessory that looks like his gun mode. So that is the best thing that we can do here for having a gun mode Megatron. So at least Hasbro, you know, they found a loophole and they gave us an accessory that looks like Megatron's gun mode. So you can see there's the Decepticon symbol right there, and you can see the long barrel here. and this section here that looks like his fusion cannon and everything. Would have been nice if he had the silencer just sticking out, but oh well, it is what it is. It's not gonna be completely accurate to how the gun mode looks in the 1986 film, and yeah, and I'm personally fine with having an accessory that looks like Megatron's gun mode. So now this one can be held by your other figures with a 5mm port in their hands. So yeah, but there you go. That is basically for the accessories here. So you can actually store these accessories in tank mode. So basically you take the gun and just plug it in there, and then take the sword and you can just plug it into some of these ports right here. You can plug it on top here, or if you want you can just plug it on the side like so, and there you have your storage, which looks totally ridiculous, but hey, it's storage if you want storage. So there you go. So let me remove these weapons for now, and it's time to transform Megatron into his robot mode. So we're doing a little bit of parts forming here. What? You have to remove the fusion cannon from the turret sections. You have to remove this little thing as well. You have to untab the arms here from the fusion cannon and just bring this up like so. And then to finish off the fusion cannon here, you're going to take this piece right here and just bring this back like so, and there you have the fusion cannon all ready to go. And we'll put this off to the side for now, and we can get started. Now this guy, the engineering, I love the engineering for this figure. So first things first, you want to take the feet and just bring them up like so. Just put the feet up, bring up the toe, and there you go. And do the same thing on your side. Just bring the foot up, bring it up all the way, flip up the foot, and there you go. And now you can take this entire section here, just untab it from the side, untab this from the side like so, untab this from the side just like so. Now you can take these shin areas and just untab them from this section here and just bring them down just like so. Bring down like so. Alright, bring this up first. There we go. Alright, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna situate the legs, and the legs, oh, this is my favorite part of the engineering. So the legs here, you want to take this panel, just flip this down like so, and you want to open this section up like so, and then flip in this part of the tread in like so, and then close that up. Do the same thing on your other side. Just flip this out, flip this in, close that up, and you want to fold all this in just like so. And then this section right here, you see there's a tab that would go into a slot right in there. So just bring this up and then line that up properly. Make sure it's lined up. There we go. Just tab that in, and then bring this up, and there's a tab that would go into a slot right in there. So just tab this in like so, and then take this entire shin section here, just bring this down, and then there is a tab that will go into a slot. There are two tabs that go into two slots right in there. So just bring this down and then tab that in and bring the foot back, and there we have a leg all done. And I love that engineering. I love how the body of the tank just forms the leg like that, and I absolutely love that. So anyway, we'll do the same thing on the other side. Just bring this down and open this up, flip this in, bring this back, close that up, and open this up, flip this in, close that up, fold all this in, and then bring this up, and that will tab in right in there, and then bring this up, bring this down, tab that in, and bring the shin down and tab that in, bring the foot back, and there we have his legs pretty much all done and ready. So I need to raise up the camera, so I will be right back. We are at the top floor. So now what you want to do is you want to untab this entire section like so, and then you want to untab the legs from these sections. Just untab them, bring them forward like so, bring them down just like that, and then bring these skirt pieces out, bring this down, put this out, bring it down, and you're going to rotate the waist 180 just like so, and there you have that. So now what you want to do is you want to flip in this section here, flip in this panel just like that, and then bring this chest piece down so that you have your clearance to flip out the head just like so, and there you go. And you want to split this section here, just like so. And then you want to rotate the turret section 180 like so, and flip in this section like that. And then you can take this section and just bring this down, fold this in, just like that, like so. And then you want to bring the shoulder in, and just bring the shoulder in until it swoops into place. There we go. You can see that little tab here will go in between these two sections here. So just make sure that everything is lined up properly. And there we go. Do the same thing on the other shoulder. Just flip all this in, and that tab will go into a slot behind this section here. So just tap that in, just like that, and there we go. And then take the chest piece and just bring this up, and that will tab in right there. And then you want to tab this in, tab in the belly piece, tab that in, and there we got that section all done. So now for the arms, you want to rotate them down, rotate the arms down, and then you want to rotate them to this side like so. And now you can open this section up, flip out the fist, flip out the hand, and then we'll rotate this section around, and you want to close up these panels just like so to have the arm fully transformed. So now you got an arm fully transformed. So now we do the same thing on the other side. Just rotate this around, open up these panels like so, flip out the fist, rotate this section around, and then close all this up like so. And the last thing to do is to add in the fusion cannon like so. Just add in the fusion cannon, and of course you want to bring this section here. You want to flip in this peg like so, and you want to peg this to the back like so. And there we go. I think we're done. Are we done? Yes, we're done. Woo, we're done. So there you go. There is Megatron fully transformed into his robot mode. And my goodness, this thing looks absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. Like, woo! He just looks like he came straight out of the cartoon, and I absolutely love that. And the way he transforms, man, clever engineering, I will say. Very clever engineering, just really well done. Transformation just works so well in my personal opinion. And yeah, he just looks, hey, keep knocking him around, I'm so sorry about that. But anyway, but yeah, he looks absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. It's a very clean transformation as well. I mean, look at that, no backpack whatsoever. And I mean, you do have some tank bits just sticking out, but it literally looks like like here, the tank bits just hide so well. And I'm amazed. I'm absolutely impressed with this figure. Like, this is an amazing figure in my personal opinion. Like, this is literally the best mainline G1 Megatron as far as I'm concerned. Like, this, so much better than the Siege and Earthrise mold, I will say. Very, very much better in my personal opinion. So let's get in close here so we can take a look at the head sculpt. I need more light here. So there you go. And that head sculpt is G1 Megatron all around. It just looks so freaking good. Nice red paint for the eyes there, and I love the paintwork on his belly section. Got the red and blue and the yellow and all that stuff. You even have the red paint on the sides, and I love that. They didn't have to do that, but they did, and I absolutely love that. And, you know, be more screen accurate this time around, and I love it. A little bit of red paint on the biceps as well. Now the shin colors, it depends on the lighting. So sometimes it can look blue, sometimes it can look a little bit gray. So but in person it actually looks, you know, it actually looks a lot better in person, in my personal opinion. So it's not too bad looking. So I'm fine with it. You can see the fusion cannon. Yeah, the look of the fusion cannon, yeah, it may look a little bit off, but you know, it is what it is. I think what's supposed to happen is that this section was supposed to slide down a little bit more, because this section is not supposed to be longer than this section. But you know, it is what it is. It's okay. At least he still has his fusion cannon. He does have this this gun section thing on his back. It's more accurate this time around, and yeah, very well done in my personal opinion. Just looks absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. So now, as far as the articulation goes with Megatron here, the head, I believe, isn't on the ball joint. It can rotate full 360. He can look up a little bit. He can't really look down. The shoulders, they can rotate a full 360. He can move in and out. You do have a bicep rotation. You do have an elbow over 90 degrees of bend, which is nice. You do have wrist rotation, which is quite nice. And the fingers are articulated. So you do have a joint here at the index finger, so that can move. And there is a hinge at the base as well. And then these three fingers are, they move together on this hinge. And there is a hinge at that base, like so. So that's pretty cool that he has articulated fingers. I like that. You do have a waist rotation. Yeah, the legs can move up that far, can move back that far. This skirt piece can move out of the way to accommodate the outward movement for the legs. And now you can actually do the full splits for Megatron. It's pretty cool. You do have a thigh rotation. You do have a very deep knee bend there. The feet, they can move down due to transformation. They can move up as well. And you do have some ankle tiltage right there. So yeah, he is pretty poseable, I will say. Very poseable. I mean, duh, he is a leader class, so he has to be poseable. So, but yeah, very well done articulation as far as I'm concerned. Very cool, very cool. I like it. I dig it. Now let us show off how he can wield his accessories in robot mode. So basically, you can take the sword and just put it into his hand. He actually holds it very nice and securely, and just close up the fingers like so, and he can just cut down some Autobots if he really wants to. And you can actually have Megatron hold himself in gun mode. So just open up the hand, just plug this in, and there you go. He can hold himself. So which is funny. So yeah, and I mean, you can have other figures like Soundwave, Shockwave, and Starscream to hold Megatron in gun mode. So hey, that's a thing you can do if you really want to. Or if you don't want to use the accessories in Robots mode, you can get out. You can actually store these accessories in robot mode. So you can see that there is a tab right here on the gun mode Megatron, and there's a slot right there, so you can actually store the gun mode Megatron on the back of Megatron. and the saber here you can actually store on the back as well. So you can see there's a post and port connection here. So there you go, and there you go. You can store these accessories in robot mode, which is pretty nice. But you know, I would want him to hold his sword in his robot mode, so that's what I'm gonna do. That's how I'm gonna display my Megatron here. So yeah, I'm not gonna have him hold himself because that would be very, very ridiculous. So I'm just gonna have him hold the sword there. So, but there you go. Let's bring in some size comparisons. Alright, there you have the Studio Series 86 Megatron compared with the Siege Megatron and the Earthrise Megatron. You can see how badly yellowed my Earthrise Megatron is. Which is a little bit unfortunate because I really liked Earthrise Megatron as far as I'm concerned. But I think we all know which Megatron is instantly better. This one. I mean, look at the size of this Megatron. I mean, he's bigger than these two. And he's way more cartoon accurate this time around, which I very much prefer as far as I'm concerned. He's much more cleaner. He's just way more articulated, and yeah, it just looks so much better than these two as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I mean, between the two here, I kind of prefer Siege Megatron because it actually looks pretty cohesive here. Earthrise Megatron, yeah, I mean, the yellowing. You can see how this one yellowed and this one doesn't. So, yeah, instantly better than this thing. So, anyway, let's move on. And last but not least, here we have Studio Series 86 Megatron compared to Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. Oh my gosh! Oh, this is so beautiful. This is absolutely perfect. Oh, chef's kiss, man. Mwah, chef's kiss. Like, this is just beautiful. The best versions of Optimus Prime and Megatron, as far as I'm concerned, and they look so good together. And I really like the fact that Megatron is slightly taller than Optimus Prime, as he should be. So yeah, they scale really well together, and I love it. I absolutely love this, man. It is so beautiful. Hey, go stand straight, please. Anyway, but yeah, this is such a beautiful thing, really beautiful thing, and you know, you can recreate so many scenes with these two figures, and I absolutely love it. So there you go. That is basically it for the robot mode comparisons. Okay, so here are my final thoughts on the Transformers Studio Series 86 Leader Class Megatron, and a very well done figure in my personal opinion. The robot mode looks absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. It just screams G1 Megatron from head to toe. The alt mode, yes, while it is a tank, not a gun, it still looks really good in my personal opinion, and I never cared for the gun mode, you know. I personally prefer the tank mode for Megatron. Plus, if I were to redo the entire G1 cartoon, I would have made Megatron transform into a tank, because he's just more powerful as a tank, you know, in my personal opinion anyway. Because he doesn't need other robots to hold him. He can just roll around and shoot down some traitors, shoot down some Autobots by himself, you know, kill Starscream by himself like that. So, yeah. But it's cool to have an accessory that looks like Megatron's gun mode, so there's that, at least. But all in all, though, it is a really great figure of Megatron, and definitely the definitive G1 Megatron in the main line, as far as I'm concerned. The articulation is really well done, so I got no issues there. All the joints are nice and snug, very tight, so I got no complaints there. As far as the paintwork goes, he doesn't need a lot of color, so everything is kind of painted where it should be painted, so I got no issues there. The transformation is beautiful. I love the engineering on this figure. Really well done. It works so well. It's a very smooth transformation, very enjoyable. My favorite part of the engineering is the leg transformation. I love how the entire body of the tank just scrunches down into the legs, and I absolutely love that. So yeah, I personally have no major issues. I mean, yeah, we got minor aesthetic issues with the fusion cannon and of course the turret section in the tank mode, but honestly, in my personal opinion, if I were to rank this guy from a scale of 1 to 10, I think I'm just gonna give him a perfect score of 10 out of 10. I just basically have no major issues with this figure. This figure is just, it's so imposing. It's Megatron. I mean, look at the robot mode. Come on, man, come on. It screams Megatron. So yeah, I will say 10 out of 10. Great figure. Best mainline G1 Megatron I have ever owned. So way better than the Siege and Earthrise mold as far as I'm concerned. So all in all, I am very pleased with this figure, and I'm very happy to have him in my collection. And yes, he is definitely worth having in the collection. If you do have Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime, total must-have. Scales well with Optimus Prime as far as I'm concerned. So all in all, great figure. really, really well done, in my personal opinion. So, alright, so that is pretty much it for today's video review. So ladies and gentlemen, if you have enjoyed this review, be sure to click that like button down below, give it a thumbs up, yay! But of course, if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button down below, and while you're at it, click that notification bell icon down below as well, so that you would never miss any of my future videos. And of course, you can always check out my Studio Series Reviews playlist for any videos I may have missed, so I will post a link to that playlist in the description down below. And I think that's pretty much it for me to say. So there you have the Transformers Studio Series 86 Leader Class, Decepticon Leader Megatron, and this is JJ Prime signing off. Peace out, till all of one, and I'll see you guys next time. All hail Megatron!
Leader, the viewers must subscribe to support the cause.
Optimus, they know that, but sometimes you've gotta ask with style. Hey you, yeah, you watching. Smash that subscribe button, or Prime is giving a speech. Again.
I heard that.
Good, now hit the button, before he starts quoting the Covenant of Primus.